Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here. This is what if Naruto was an Adolla Burst Part 2. So last time we left off with we went over Naruto's childhood, him training with Kakashi and some other ninjas when he was a child because of his newfound power, and we also went over his the bell test, and they all passed thanks to Naruto's teamwork plan. So now we head to the 1 month of D rank missions, and this month Naruto's just flying around, and Sasuke realizes that Naruto is way stronger than him, especially because of this power that he has, and he will never be able to beat Naruto with the power he has. So he trains in this month. Naruto still trains as usual with his powers, and he's trying to get even faster, just like Shinra did in the Fire Force anime. He just kept training and training and training until he became pretty fast. So Naruto does the same thing, and he's trying to get faster and faster so he can finish fights quicker than anyone could even see, so his team would never get in any sort of sticky situation. So Naruto also trains in jutsus, so like since he does have fire style, he did ask the third Hokage in this month if he can have some fire style jutsus, and also he because Naruto did spend a bit of his childhood in the library learning about why he has this power. He never could find the reason why, and and he found out about chakra natures instead, and he asked the third Hokage if he can see what chakra nature he has, and the third Hokage is like, you probably have fire style since you're shooting out fire from your feet. And Naruto's like, yeah, but I've read that people can have multiple chakra nature transformations, and the Hiruzen is actually impressed with Naruto. At his age, someone wouldn't be asking these kind of questions, and Naruto does get a chakra transformation, that little paper where you can find out what chakra nature you have. So Naruto does it, and his one splits in half, then crumbles. Not crumbles. I mean, it splits in half, and then you know, both of the halves, they scrub. What happens when? So you know, when the paper, when you have lightning style, that thing happens. I don't know the description of it, and also it becomes wet, and then it starts burning. And the third Hokage is like, this kid has full chakra natures already. Like, how? I have 5, but I realized that when I was around like 15 or 16, and Naruto's just 12 and already has 4. So Naruto's like, how many is that? Because he did learn about them, but he didn't know. He only knew that fire burnt it, and wood and wind ripped it in half. And Naruto only understood them, but he didn't understand. Well, he understood the wet part, when it became wet, because that's pretty obvious. But he didn't understood what happened when it just crumbled up. And the third Hokage is like, that's lightning release. So you have lightning, fire, water, and wind. And Naruto's really impressed with himself. He's really happy. And the third Hokage is like, so you want to learn fire release, right? And Naruto's like, no, I want to learn all 4 of them now. And the third Hokage is like, this kid always trying to learn more and get ahead of his peers. And the third Hokage is happy about this because he knows that Naruto will become a great ninja if he keeps this attitude, will always trying to get better. So Hiruzen gives him 4 different scrolls, each one of different chakra natures. So in this month, Naruto learns the fireball jutsu, let's say the phoenix flower jutsu, the basics of the majestic Destroyer Flame, and also the Fire Dragon Jutsu. And with his water style, he learns the Water Shockwave, the Water Clone, the Water Prison, also the Water Dragon Jutsu. Well, the basics of it, because it is pretty hard in Sejonin rank ninjutsu. And with Lightning style, he learns the Lightning Stream, the let's say the Lightning Dragon, something like that. He makes it up with the Lightning Stream. And what he saw from Kakashi when he was training with him, Kakashi did try to use the Chidori, and he thought maybe if there is a Fire Dragon Jutsu and a Water Dragon Jutsu, maybe he can make a Lightning style Lightning Dragon Jutsu. So basically it's basically the same fundamentals as the other two Dragon Jutsus, and he makes it. And also he learns the the Lightning Clone, but he only uses it when he mostly uses Shadow Clones, but Naruto wants to use the Lightning Clones more because they are more but they drain more chakra. So Naruto will only use the Lightning Clones when he is versing someone that he knows he cannot beat, and he needs to paralyze to even have a chance to beat him. So Naruto only uses the Lightning Clones then. And the Water Clones, he uses them when when he makes his Water Clones become when he gets hit, and that's a Water Clone. His Water Clone becomes a Water Prison Jutsu, and the Naruto is the only one to release it. He does make that one up because he combines the Water Prison Jutsu and the Water Clone Jutsu. He sees the fundamentals and tries it himself, because Naruto did learn a lot in the library, and he wanted to make his own jutsu, seeing that he read a lot about the second Hokage, him making all these jutsus, and he thought he was really cool. He also read about the third Hokage's powers, and he thought the third Hokage is actually pretty strong. And also he learned about Hashirama's wood style and the Minato's flying Raijin, and how he saved the village, because he is a legend in the village right now. And so Naruto does learn all these things. And for his let's say for his wind style, he learns the wind style Gale Palm, the wind vacuum, the also he learns how to add wind release onto his weapons. So he does still try to make a ninjutsu where he slices the air, and then a air slice goes and attacks his enemy. Well, he kind of makes it, but it's not the one that he was imagining. He imagined an air slice that can slice through anything, and he realizes that if he trains a bit harder, he will be able to make it, because the one that he has right now can only like do a scratch on a tree, and he realizes more training will equal more power. So that's the month done for him. And Sasuke, in his month after the missions, he always trains till late around like 11 p.m. in the night, and he keeps training because he wants to unlock the Sharingan, because he realizes that if the Sharingan is the only way to be on par with Naruto. But he doesn't know that Naruto's been training as well, so even if he unlocks a one-time Sharingan by the end of the month, he's nowhere near. In this one, if I'm gonna make Sasuke a bit closer to Naruto, so in power, and because in my other what if Sasuke has been nothing to Naruto, even though towards the end it's going to be the same, like Naruto being way stronger because of him training and way more than Sasuke. So Naruto also does ask the Kakashi to teach him the Chidori, but Kakashi says, I can teach you the fundamentals of the Chidori, but you cannot use the Chidori since you don't have a Sharingan. And Naruto is like, what do you mean? And then Kakashi says, I never used to have a Sharingan, because Naruto knew about Kakashi's Sharingan, and he says, to use the Chidori, you need the Sharingan, and to control its power and to not make it reckless. Sorry guys, kind of changing the script. So Naruto realizes that and says, wait, so you can still teach me the fundamentals of it and I can make a new jutsu, right? And Kakashi is like, yeah, but making a new jutsu isn't easy. And Naruto's like, I still have and then Naruto's like, I can do that. So Kakashi does teach him. It takes him like a week for Naruto to learn all the fundamentals. Sorry, that was my bottle. And Naruto does learn them, and he is starting to develop a new jutsu towards the end of the month. And he does develop a new jutsu, but he cannot use it yet because he hasn't had experience with it. He calls it the purple lightning. Yes, I'm allowing Naruto to learn the purple lightning, and he wants to use it to increase well, in a fight against someone strong. And he realizes that the purple lightning isn't something to be to joke around with, because it's basically a Chidori, just a bit weaker. But he realizes that this could actually kill someone. So Naruto doesn't use it in like training against someone else, because sometimes he does train with let's say Rock Lee, because they are friends, since Naruto did ask Might Guy to train him a bit in taijutsu, and Might Guy taught both of them together at once. And Naruto does sometimes fight Rock Lee, and their speed is pretty much the same, since Naruto has an adolla burst and he can increase his speed once he flies. So I have covered Naruto. Now we go to Sasuke. Sasuke has been training mostly in his meditation and trying to unlock the Sharingan. He does unlock the Sharingan once at night when he's frustrated that he cannot reach Naruto's level, and he just unlocks it. Well, he does unlock it. He already unlocked it. It's just dormant, because once he saw his parents die, well, killed by Itachi, he did unlock it, but then he fainted. So he does reawaken it, and now Sasuke can now use it. It's basically like how Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan, and he realizes that he can his Sharingan has only one Tomoe on each eye, and he wants all three Tomoe by the end of let's say by the time he's a Chunin, because he knows that one day he will have to become a Chunin, and to become a Chunin he needs the full Sharingan, because that's how his brother did it. Because by the age of 11, Itachi had the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and he was an Anbu team leader, even though he couldn't be. But Hadanzo pulled some strings and he made him a team leader. So Sasuke keeps training, and now we come to the end of the month. Sakura has been doing nothing, because as usual she only trains during the time skip. So now a month later, Naruto is in the Hokage's office and tells the Hokage that these missions are boring, and he can't really test out his new powers if he's trying to find cats. And Sasuke raises an eyebrow to this, and he's like, new powers? What does he mean? Like, he uses his fire from the he doesn't know what to call it, so he just says his fire jet powers already. What does he mean, new powers? He says that in his mind, and he realizes that Naruto must have trained during this month as well, and he must have got even stronger, and this just makes Sasuke more jealous. So he wants to impress, and he wants to impress everyone, that because everyone thinks Naruto's pretty much the strongest right now, and he wants to impress all of, except for Sakura. Well, the third Hokage and Kakashi know that Naruto is stronger than Sasuke in all types of way, physically, mentally, because, well, not mentally, because Sasuke has been through a lot of trauma in his childhood, but that's the same as Naruto. Some people tried to kill him while he was just 4 years old or something, and so they know Naruto is much stronger in pretty much everything except for Genjutsu, because he is not good at Genjutsu, except and Team 7 does still get the same mission with Tazuna, and Tazuna does still make the joke about Naruto's height, and Naruto gets pretty angry at this, and basically out of nowhere he's already behind Tazuna with fire coming out of his feet, and he's like, do you still want to talk about my height, or should I just burn you alive? And Kakashi's like, Naruto, stop, that's our client, we cannot injure our client or we will get a bad reputation. And Naruto just stops because he wasn't going to hurt Tazuna, he was just trying to scare him. And Tazuna realizes that Naruto is more than capable of protecting him. And the Photokage is like, this team is the most capable to protect you. They are the best team, the best Genin team that we have right now. Because that's mostly because of Sasuke and Naruto, not because of Sakura. Sakura's brains are mad, but her strengths are... she has no strengths. All she's good at is saying Sasuke. So I will make her more useful later on. Well, she will be like canon, so still a Sasuke fangirl, and so whatever, we don't need to talk about her. So the next morning they all meet up to escort Tazuna, and Naruto's on guard because he wants to impress the Kakashi, and he wants Kakashi to give him the Chunin rank really early in his ninja life, because he knows about the rankings and how to become a Chunin. Either you have to pass the Chunin exams, or you have to show that your skills are on a level of a Chunin in a mission, in a hard mission. But even if this is a C rank mission, Naruto wants to impress Kakashi, so Kakashi has to move him up to Chunin, because Naruto doesn't want to stay getting because he wants to impress everyone else and he wants to get acknowledged, because since his dream is still the same here. And so they go out. Naruto's on guard, and he realizes that there's a puddle in the middle of the track, and that Kakashi notices that, and Sasuke as well, because Sasuke has been training and he didn't see it rain at any point in this month, and they are all suspicious. And as soon as the demon brothers come in, Sasuke and Naruto do just blitz the two brothers, and Naruto basically kicks the one on the left with his adolla burst. He is so fast, he basically comes in, kicks him in the face, and then he wants to use the purple lightning, but he realizes that even though they are too weak, and he might actually kill them and won't get any information, because Naruto is taking this mission seriously. And he kicks him, and then is on top of him with a kunai on his throat, while Sasuke does a lion's barrage and knocks the other one out. So Naruto kept one up, so they tied them up, and Kakashi is impressed by Naruto and Sasuke, and he's like, well done you two, well done to you Sakura as well for staying back and protecting our client. And they're all praised, even though Sakura didn't do anything. She didn't even have a kunai out, she only got it out because she thought she could help, but then she couldn't. She wasn't even thinking of the thing, she was just wanting to impress Sasuke. And Naruto's like, and then Kakashi's like, who were you after? And the demon brother's like, what should I tell you? Naruto's like, if you don't tell us, then you can say goodbye to your life. And the demon brother's like, okay, we were after Tazuna because we've been paid to attack him. And Kakashi realizes that this mission is not a C rank mission, it's probably a B rank or an A rank, so he decides to go back to the village. But then Naruto's like, but why? Look, if we just beat 2 Chunin level ninjas in mere seconds, I'm pretty sure we can take this mission on. And Kakashi does take that to account, and he does say it is true, you did. And then Kakashi's like, yeah, you guys did beat a Chunin rank ninja, 2 Chunin rank ninjas when you're still Genins, but you guys are exceptions. And Naruto's like, what do you mean? Everyone's the same. You can't call someone an exception and call them stronger than others. Anyone can reach our level if they train hard enough. And Kakashi realizes that because he did see Obito basically becoming stronger than him just by training. He became as strong as Kakashi, in the few months that they had before that mission in Kanabi Bridge and the death of Obito. He knew how strong Obito was just by training, and he realizes that anyone can reach Naruto and Sasuke's level if they train hard enough. So he's like, alright, we'll take this mission, but if we see any Jonin rank ninjas, you guys stay back, I will take them on. And Naruto's like, yeah, you're right, we shouldn't, because Naruto knows how strong a Jonin is, and a Jonin is no joke, especially because from getting to Chunin is a big gap, but if you're talking about from Chunin to Jonin, that's an even bigger gap than Chunin and Genin, because Jonin are something that people can barely get, even if they are ninjas for years. Some people have been ninjas for 20 years and they're still Chunin, and some can even be Genin, and he knows that for himself because he asked Iruka Sensei, and Iruka did tell him, well, I never was able to become a Jonin because I was just not good enough. And Naruto says, it's not that you're not good enough, it's just that and he's like, oh no, it's not that you're not good enough or strong enough, it's just that you decided to take on a teacher role, a teacher's job. And that consoled Iruka a bit, and he's like, thank you, Naruto. And now we go back to the mission, and Tazuna is really happy that they took this mission, and he basically thinks of Naruto and Sasuke as saviors that want to save his village. So Naruto and Sasuke are still on guard, and they do cross the river with a boat, and then Naruto feels bloodlust coming from he feels the presence of someone in the bush, so he throws a kunai and a rabbit jumps out, and Sakura's like, Naruto, you're about to kill a rabbit. And Naruto's like, and then Kakashi's like, Sakura, take a good look at that rabbit. And Sakura's like, what do you mean? And then Kakashi says, well, it's spring and that rabbit is still white, while that's a winter rabbit. And Naruto says it must have been someone must have kept it in a cage. And then Sasuke came in saying that that means someone is a substitution. And then Kakashi says duck down because he can see the Zabuza's sword does swing at them. Naruto just flies up in the sky, in the air, just to avoid it, and then Zabuza jumps on top of the sword and says, Kakashi of the Sharingan, I guess you're escorting this old man. And Kakashi's like, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, take care of stay back, I got this. And Naruto's like realizes that that's Zabuza, and he's like, guys, we should really listen to Kakashi Sensei. He's a really Zabuza is a really dangerous ninja, because he did read about Zabuza, the demon of the mist. And Kakashi's fight goes the same. He does slip up a bit and gets imprisoned, and Naruto decides to take control of this mission and tells Sasuke to throw him as a shuriken, and then Naruto will transform, and then he will throw a kunai at Zabuza, so he has to dodge. And they do that. That's pretty much the same. And Naruto does throw a kunai, but this time he adds wind release to it. And so Naruto does free Kakashi, and Kakashi does still have his fight, and Naruto just watches while Zabuza's about to get killed, and then Haku comes out of nowhere and basically kills, in quotation marks, kills Zabuza and takes him away. And Kakashi's too tired to tell them that this must have been a fake, and he just faints. And Naruto does fly up to him and makes clones so he can carry him. So they head to Tazuna's place, and they do still have the chakra control training, except for Naruto, who has trained in chakra control since he had to learn he was learning different chakra nature transformations. So Naruto already knows this and asks Kakashi how he can walk on water to improve his chakra control even more. And Kakashi's already kind of surprised that Naruto He's asking him, and sorry guys, I was responding to a comment. So Kakashi does tell him how to, and Naruto does. He's not able to do it, and he keeps training for the next few days till late in the evening, and he does still meet Haku, and Haku does tell him, if you have someone precious, you will get stronger. And Naruto realizes that the only precious person, the only few precious people to him are his team, because he basically has no family or anything. So Naruto says, well, I guess my team is precious to me. And so Naruto keeps training, and he finally masters it. But once he goes back, he eats, and then has a bath and is asleep. And the next day, Team 7 does go on, and they're like, Naruto can catch up. He needs to sleep right now, and Naruto is asleep. So Naruto does wake up and is about to go, and he sees that Inari and his mother are getting attacked, but he does save Inari. And by the way, he does still do the speech to Inari, so he tells him that not everyone, you're not the only one who had to suffer. I suffered too. I never had a family. I never had anyone. And Kakashi realizes that because he's been with Naruto since he was like 6, and he knew that Naruto's parents died, and he knew who they were. So he could never tell them, but still, he understood Naruto because his father killed himself when he was pretty young, and he understands how Naruto feels. So now Naruto is flying past trees, hills and everything, till he reaches his team and sees that Sasuke is imprisoned by the ice mirrors and is trying to get out, but he can't because the ice mirrors are too cold to melt, until Naruto comes out of nowhere and kicks one of the ice mirrors with his fire and is able to crack it, but then it just regenerates until Naruto increases his speed and just has a burst of power and breaks one of the ice mirrors. And Haku's surprised at Naruto's power. He goes through one and then he cracks the one on the opposite side. He says, Sasuke, get out of here quick. And then Sasuke sees that Haku throws needles at him, and Sasuke gets in the way and says, Naruto, you fool, why did you come in here? I had this. And he faints, and Naruto thinks Sasuke died, and he does let out a lot of rage, and he does let out a bit of his Nine-Tails chakra. So he just has the cloak, not the one-tail cloak, and he says purple lightning and destroys all the ice mirrors. And Kakashi and Zabuza, and also, I said and too many times, also his team see how strong Naruto's lightning release is, and Kakashi's like, that must be Naruto's new move. And then Zabuza gets back to his senses and says, never take your eyes off your opponent. And Kakashi's nearly sliced in half, but thanks to his Sharingan reflexes, he does dodge it and says, remember, I am Kakashi of the Sharingan. I can dodge you even without looking at you. And Zabuza takes that as an offense because he thinks Kakashi is basically calling him slow, and they keep fighting, and he hopes Naruto just doesn't let out too much of the Nine-Tails chakra, because he can feel the Nine-Tails letting out his bloodlust and everything. And Naruto does break Haku's mask and is on top of him. Now Haku is pretty battered because he just had to, he got electrocuted by the purple lightning with a boost of power that the Nine-Tails gave Naruto. So then they all hear Naruto's cloak disappears, realizing that that's Haku, and asks why, and Haku's like, my precious person is Zabuza. And then they hear the sound of 1,000 birds, and Haku realizes that Zabuza is in trouble and looks back and sees Zabuza about to get stabbed, and he uses all his strength to just stop the Kakashi from killing Zabuza. And Haku is able to save Zabuza, but this time Kakashi only hits his arm because Haku doesn't get his whole body there, since he is he is still kind of paralyzed from Naruto's attack. So only Haku's shoulder gets stabbed, and then Zabuza's like, finally, you tool, you served your purpose. And Haku smiles at that, thinking that Zabuza is thanking him, because that's how Zabuza thanks him. And Naruto's like, Naruto says, flies out of nowhere, and sorry, I read my script wrong. Flies out of nowhere and kicks Zabuza, saying, "Look look at Haku. Look at the state he is, and he still tried to save you, and you just call him a tool." And then Gato's men appear, and Zabuza then he tells Haku and Zabuza, "Oh, the two pests are still alive. I wasn't gonna pay them anyways. Kill them, man." And everyone attacks Zabuza and Haku until Naruto realizes that Zabuza and Haku just got used, and he couldn't take this, and realized that he had to do something. And out of nowhere, Naruto disappears from everyone's sight, and because he had another power boost, and he appears behind Gato and kicks his head so hard it decapitates him, and Gato is killed. And then Naruto says, "Anyone else want to fight?" with a cold stare at every single one of them, and every single one of them's like, no, until Zabuza and Haku attacked them all, and Naruto joined them, and they all killed the men. And Zabuza and Haku aren't too injured. Haku is, and he is bandaged up by Naruto. And everyone asks Naruto, "What did you just do?" And Naruto's like, "I'm not sure. I just used my normal power, and then I was already behind Gato. I was just way too fast." And Naruto knows that what he just did is something, a new ability he has unlocked, and this is Shinra's light speed. So if anyone moves in with light speed, their particles disintegrate. But remember, if you can move at light speed, you can go back in time. So Naruto's particles came back, and Naruto's body was just behind Gato. So his particles went behind Gato before they could even blink, and Gato's head was decapitated as soon as Naruto came back. So they blinked. So as soon as they blinked, Gato's head was already decapitated. So they're like, what the hell just happened? And Haku is pretty much dying right now because of the loss in blood. And Naruto's like, "No, Haku, no, don't." And Haku is able to survive because of Kakashi's a bit of Kakashi's knowledge in healing jutsus, and he does heal Haku's shoulder, not fully. He just stops the bleeding thanks to his Sharingan ability of copying ninja techniques. And then Naruto realizes that Sasuke is dead, and says, "I'm sorry, Sasuke, I let you die." And Haku's like, "Sasuke is not dead. I never went for your vital points." And Sasuke jumped in. He only got stabbed in minor points that makes you faint. And Naruto's happy about this, and they take the needles off of Sasuke. And Zabuza apologizes to Tazuna and says, "I will never be doing this again." And Naruto says, "Hey, how about you to come back and work for the Leaf Village from now on?" And Zabuza is hesitant of this, but then Haku is really happy that Naruto is asking them to join his village. And Haku's like, "Maybe Zabuza, we should take this with a smile in his face," and Zabuza realizes that Haku made a friend, and Zabuza has a change in heart, and says, "Alright, Haku, just for you." And they all protect Tazuna while he builds the bridge. And they still name the bridge the Great Naruto Bridge, because Naruto basically annihilated Gato. And they head back to the village, and this time once they enter, everyone is on guard because they see Zabuza and Haku. Well, they don't know who Haku is, but they know Zabuza. And Kakashi's like, "Don't worry guys, they're on our side now." And Kakashi does tell the third Hokage, and Naruto, the third Hokage is hesitant of making them leave Shinobi until Naruto comes in, barges in through the door, breaks the door pretty much, and says, "Please, old man, Haku's my friend, and I trust him." And also, he would give his life up to protect Zabuza, and Zabuza had a change in heart, and Kakashi agrees with that, and the third Hokage is like, alright, they can become Leaf Shinobi, and so Haku is given the Chunin rank already because he got recommended by Zabuza and Kakashi, and Zabuza is already a Jonin, so he's a Jonin rank. So they're not allowed to go on missions yet, so they have, because of the Chunin exams, and they need, because they don't know what other villagers can do, they need the utmost defense and against any attacks during the Chunin exam. So Zabuza and Haku are put on patrol in case something happens during the Chunin exams, and they're fine with that. They don't want to go on missions yet because they know that they probably will be hunted down, and they're not scared, but they're worried that if they go on a mission with a team, they will just put them in danger because they are wanted. And the Leaf Village does say that we have does make a false claim that they have killed Zabuza, the Demon of the Mist, and Haku. Well, Haku wasn't really known, and so Zabuza does take a new name, and well, his name is still Zabuza. He doesn't take a new name, what I was saying. So Haku is really happy that now he can spend more time with Naruto, and since they were pretty much the same age, not that much. Let me quickly check what their age was. Naruto is nearly 13, and Haku is 15. So there's a 3-year gap, but they're still best friends. They're good friends, and Haku would give his life up for Naruto. So now Kakashi tells his team about the Chunin exams, and Naruto's really happy about this because he wanted to become a Chunin, and he did ask Kakashi if he was worthy of becoming Chunin, and Kakashi says, well, you are pretty much high Chunin rank, but I cannot ask the third Hokage to make you Chunin because there is a Chunin exam coming up. And Naruto already knew about this, so he was already preparing, and he did tell his team earlier, and they're like, we already knew this, what was the point of even calling us up? And Kakashi is like, who told you? And Naruto's like, me, because I want my team to be strong during the Chunin exams, and I don't want to get beaten by Haku, because he does think of Haku not just as a friend but a rival to go up against. So that's it for part 2. What if Naruto had an Adolla Burst part 2. So I hope you all enjoyed. Part 3 will be coming out tomorrow. I will be uploading 3 more videos today. So what if Naruto was in the Anbu part 2, what if Naruto had half hot and half cold part 3, and what if Naruto unlocked wood style part 3. Hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe, and peace.